Hello there and welcome to Tilt Astrology. So for this video, I just wanted to cover a very basic foundation of astrology. So there are lots of YouTube videos out there talking about, the houses and what each zodiac sign means and a whole bunch of other stuff. But what I haven't seen is a lot of videos covering the very basics. So I wanted to talk about some basic information which helps you to begin to look at a natal chart, even if you didn't know the meaning of the houses and you didn't understand the meanings of the zodiac and you didn't know what the planetary rulers were for each sign, you could still deduce something about this person's natal chart. So each zodiac sign is assigned what's called a quadruplicity or a modality. We'll just call them types to make it easy to talk about. So each type of sign, there's three of them. There's cardinal, fixed, mutable, also called double-bodied. And each of those particular types have a characteristic associated with them. Now, the great thing about whether you're doing sidereal or tropical, it works across the board. This is a universal rule. And what's really great for whole sign astrology is what it says on the tin. The sign takes up a whole house, which makes life a lot easier. So I've teed up solar fire to have a chart with no planets and no ascendant marked on it. Ignore this. These are Egyptian bounds. We'll go into those in a later video. So this is Aries or Aries, depending on how you were raised. So if we knew nothing else about this, we could just say we know that Aries is what's called a cardinal sign. Now, because this is whole sign, the angular houses are also going to be cardinal signs. So Capricorn's cardinal, Libra's cardinal, Cancer's cardinal. So what does this tell us? And keeping in mind, these are the angular houses. So that's your career and reputation. This is marriage, relationships of all sorts, including business contacts and contracts, your home life, and you as a person. So a cardinal sign is generally outgoing, organized. There's leadership, there's impulsiveness, there's ambition, there's a bit of self-confidence, and maybe a bit of willfulness, they can be stubborn. Now, how that plays out, whether it's kind of good or bad, is going to depend on the planetary ruler for that sign and the condition it's in. But without knowing any of that, you can start to say, okay, well, this person in general, in the major areas of their life, is going to show that cardinal characteristic. So if we now put this forward a little bit and we put Taurus into the first house. So Taurus is a fixed sign. So again, fixed sign, Aquarius is fixed, Scorpio is fixed, Leo is fixed. What do we know about the fixed signs? Generally, a person would be reflective and thoughtful, pretty determined, neutral, very stable, they like the life they like and they're not going to willingly change. How that plays out, it could kind of bleed into a stubbornness, is going to once more depend on the quality of the planet ruling that particular sign. Lastly, we have what's called a mutable or double-bodied sign. So Gemini is one of those signs. And again, we can see Gemini on the first house, Pisces on the 10th, which again is a mutable double-bodied sign, Sagittarius, double-bodied, and Virgo, double-bodied. So what could we tell about this person without knowing anything else? Their life is probably going to be a little dual-natured, a little changeable. They're going to have to be adaptable. They're probably a bit introverted. And they're going to be thinkers and communicators in general. And again, how this plays out will depend on the quality of the planet ruling that particular sign. So there's a very easy way, without really remembering much about this or what each zodiac sign means, or the houses, you can use this as a very easy way to start to determine what's happening in the natal chart. Now, the additional quality to that is going to be the element. So there's also an element assigned to each zodiac sign. So the elements are fire, earth, air, and water. So each of this particular quadruplicities will have 4 different elements. So, and please ignore the colour I've assigned on this particular chart. It doesn't actually equate that well to the elements at all. It's just solar fire putting the colour on, and I have yet to figure out how to change it properly. So Gemini is air, Pisces is water, Sagittarius is fire, Virgo is earth. So again, they're going to give some additional qualities to this chart without really knowing much more about anything to do with the planets. So if Gemini, a double-bodied sign, is on the first house, we know it's an air sign. So an air sign, communication, inspiration, creativity, independence, being intellectually oriented. Again, it depends on the planet, because the planet could also, if Mercury is not in particularly good condition, they could also be a bit impractical and a little bit nervous, amongst other things. But again, that gives additional quality to that sign. Pisces, a water sign. So Pisces could be intuitive, a bit emotional, compassionate, intense, but family orientated. They could be overly emotional depending on the quality of Jupiter. Not a good, Pisces is a bit difficult for the working life, as you could probably already tell. Sagittarius is a fire sign, so that tends to make a person a bit more dynamic and strong-willed, independent, maybe a bit more forceful. Again, they can be good leaders, but it really depends on the condition of Jupiter. And then Virgo is an earth sign, so again, probably impractical, very practical, reliable, maybe a bit materialistic, but earth signs are pretty obvious. They like material goods. They probably literally like working with the earth, but you can again tell, even if you didn't know what Jupiter was doing and you didn't know what any of the planets were doing, you could start to draw some conclusions. So home life, very practical, wanting the good things in life. Ascendant, very much probably into the intellectual side of life, like the focus is on learning things. Resource and career could be a little tricky going down the traditional path, just because a water double-bodied sign is not great with that. And then you have also the fire sign, double-bodied, sitting in contracts and marriage. So again, that could be problematic, just because you don't want constant change happening in an area of life where you probably want it to be quite stable. So that's just my quick introduction to the very basics of astrology, and I hope that helps you out, and hopefully I'll do a few more videos like this where I kind of go over the very basics of astrology, and then you can use that to watch other videos and other channels with a little bit more understanding. So thanks for watching, and if you liked this, hopefully you'll like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.